a quick tutorial, beginners out there, how to animate a moving texture, and create this kind of mind-bending texture we're going to try build. So I started in Photoshop, so I'm not really going to do a Photoshop tutorial, but just to show you how I create the asset. I'll just quickly show you. So the asset that's created, I'm using just brush strokes on the canvas with transparent background, and the strokes are all white. Now you could use imported brushes, so you can use these imported paint strokes, whatever you want to use for this. You can use anything really. It could be even straight lines, to be honest. It could be any texture. For this we're using this. Okay, so I'll save this off as a PNG, and now we jump into ventuz. So as you can see here on my desktop, I got this paintbrush texture created, and I'm going to bring this into ventuz. So let's create a new scene. Okay, it's an empty scene. I'm going to get axes and color. I'm going to use solid color, which will have no light. Geometry, we want to use the torus, and we want to create this mind-bending effect, so like almost like a warp animation. So I'm going to just rotate this 90 degrees. Okay. Also, I want to apply a fog to this, so I'm going to do it before I put the texture on, because it'll be easier to see the fog effect being applied, and easier to tweak the values. So if we go on the color, fog, and not ground fog, but we're using fog, place it in front of the object. Okay, set that to 90. I'm going to scale this up. So bring it down a little bit, just rotate it for me just to see the fog. I'm going to change the color of the fog to black, and there you can already see the backs disappearing, and that's what we want. We want the half of it to disappear. Now you could use an alpha, but I want to just use the fog because we can tweak that. And I'm happy with that for now. I'm going to change that to 90. Now I want to go inside. I want to see the inside of this. So what I'm going to do is go into the material under the draw mode, solid, and I'm going to say I want to see front face, and I can see the inside. And then I'm going to adjust the torus tube. I'm going to play around with the tube size, something like this. Again, now you can see how it's disappeared the inside. If we tweak the fog value here on the end, now you reveal more of the inside of that torus, and you can take away. Which is kind of cool. For this effect, I'm just going to use the fog because it's just one graphic. We're not doing anything else, so the fog we're only using it for this. But yeah, you can tweak this after. So anyway, so if we go to our material, and you go under your standard, you click on the standard button, and you click on material stage, texture, base and alpha, and you say load texture. So I'm going to load my texture in, which is the paintbrushes. Now what I want to do is turn off the wrap. Turn on wrap, so turn off the clamp, sorry, and turn on wrap. And under mapping, I want to change it to 2D mapping and UV0. And what you want to do is adjust the scale of the X, so you can repeat that texture because we're wrapping it, and reduce the Y so we have it more repeated. And you can already see we've got this cool effect. There we go. And what you can do is go into your color, base color, and you can give it a color you want. I'll go for aqua blue kind of blue look. You can go whatever color you want, and if you want, you can go in there, tweak your start, maybe just tweaking the fog, so you can tweak that fog to look you want to get. So once you're happy with that, we can start animating it. Really simple. So we want to animate it not on the Y, because the Y you can animate on the Y, so you could animate it like this if you wanted. But we want to animate on the X and create this cool, mind-bending reality warp effect. I don't know what you would call it, to be honest, but there's many ways to do it. So you can keyframe this value if you wanted, or you could drag the value to a mover, or if you click on the little squiggly button, and just hit linear 1, you can see it's already animated for you. Now if you right click that value, it will collapse and reveal the properties of that mover. You can increase that duration to slow it down. So, there we go, so it's not too fast. There you go, so you have a nice speed there. If you want to expose that mover and see it in your content window, you got the little arrow next to the reset. Don't hit the reset button, but hit the arrow next to it, and that'll expose that in the content window. So you can edit that if you want and tweak those values. So what we can do is now, if you want, you can go into your post effects, add a glow to this, so glare, and play around with the glare effect. So I'll go here, increase that diameter maybe, and maybe the gain, a bit more blue in there, you know, a bit more glow. You know, you can tweak around, you can play around with these values. You can expand that diameter. Yeah. You can add some additional effects if you wanted to add more distortion, perhaps. You know, use the distortion and then add the barrel on there. Now you got this cool warp effect. It's really simple, just animating the texture and some little post effects. You know, you can go into your texture while it's animating and still tweak the scale of it. So you can say, oh, I want more or less, or increase that, or make it really slow. You know, that would be experiment. You know, it's quite cool. You can do a lot of things. So I could maybe just add a little bit of distortion there, and then pull back a little bit. There you go, and get this cool effect. Now I could duplicate this if I wanted. Now to make sure that I don't get the jump, I might try -1 to 1. So hopefully the texture doesn't jump. Or you have to find that looping point where it doesn't jump, but it shouldn't be too hard to find that. Well, there we go. I think I'll do -1 to 1 for now. But once you've got your looping point, that's not a problem. So what you could do is actually duplicate this as well if you wanted. So you could have another one, offset the mover. So you can have layers. So you can lay these, scale it. You can change the transformation on this. There you go. And you can have a different color if you want. Tweak that. And you get this nice cool effect. Really simple, not complicated. If you want, you can turn the fog off. You get a cool tunnel effect. You know, you can see the whole object. If you want, you can turn it off. Experiment. I mean, you could try as well applying an alpha or opacity map to this. You know, to get rid of that instead of using the fog. So you could try that and then try that experiment. But hopefully that has some help. How could you use that? You could use this, say, I could take the whole thing here we've got, duplicate this, block this for now, change the shape to a cylinder, keeping everything else the same. I should get rid of the fog. Rotate it so we're looking inside, and we've still got a completely different look. Now you can turn off the caps if you want. So you can say top and bottom are off, and then scale the textures. Go into the texture mapping, and then the same on this one. And you got another cool effect, you know, really simple. And perhaps you want to change the rotation. So if I select both of these, and then under the rotation mapping, and change this to like -90. Scale the cylinder, and I created really easy effects to create. You know, you can create so many cool effects without having to do anything, just by animating the texture. It's the same exact same material, same texture, mover, just different object. So try different objects, see what you get. Hopefully this helps you out, you know, helps you get started. You can create all these kind of abstract stuff if you want. You know, you can offset that and, you know, maybe have a different color. Yeah. Whatever, experiment. I'll delete that for now. Leave it on this one. And let's just add a little bonus thing in here. Say we want to add a HSV to color, and we take, say, this. Let's get 2 HSVs, one for each. Bam. So all we can do is get a mover for those. Mover and a mover. Take the H, the hue, and the hue from this. Let's say 0 to 360. Bam. Warning, flashing images. Make sure you slow down that duration, so it's not as crazy the flashing, but and offset your movers so they're not the same. There you go. And you can create this mind-bending effects in real time. You can play around with the scaling, you know, you can distort that more if you want. Push it back. You can play around with this all day. Yeah. And then the Torres, and I could say maybe I want less tessellation. What would I get? What would happen? Different looks. So you can get different looks, different effects really quick, really easy. Just using textures, animating a simple texture. So started with something like just a simple brush stroke, and this could be anything. For example, if I turn this off and let's make a new one. So make another one. So I'll make new and say, okay, I want maybe actually just make circles completely different. Let's make circles. Oh, let's go for circles. Make sure I just brush that out. There we go. Okay, circles. Okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. I'm just doing a quick example of, you know, showing you how you could use textures that repeat to create background effects, or, you know, really quick effects. You know, remember this one is like weird shape as well. Yeah. There we go. Maybe one over here. Doesn't need to be perfect, to be honest. There you go. So once you're happy with that, I'm going to save this as PNG. I'll just call this 2 or something, whatever you want to call that file. I'm not going to keep it on my system at the end of the day. But if I duplicate this, I'm going to block the existing one we have, and just load in that one. Bam. Completely different look, different texture, really easy. Change the duration on that, you can slow it down. It's really cool. And you can maybe combine them together. There you go. Don't be afraid to experiment, try out different things. You know, have fun. Hope that was use. Gonna go and add more effects on top. You know, experiment. There you go. Enjoy your evening, day. Hopefully it was some use. Thank you again. Bye bye.